Hi, my name is Olga Mateos. My major, well, I'm a junior at USC. My major is International Relations and Global Business, and my minor is French. Well, I'm from Puebla. It's a city 2 hours from Mexico City. It's another state, but we're very close to the capital of the country. I just came for university. I grew up in Puebla. All my family is in Puebla, and yeah, I just came here for university. So I took French in Mexico, then French at Santa Monica College. I graduated with honors and everything. I was part of the honor society there at Santa Monica College, and then I transferred here, and then I continued with my French studies.
Were you teachers from France?
Yes, my first teacher, she was from Paris, and she helped me a lot, like with the pronunciation and all that thing. She was very uh, perfectionist, so she really liked us to pronounce the words the way they were, and she was very patient, and she took her time, like explaining things. And also she talked about a lot of French culture, like music and food and everything. So she was really, really proud of being French. Well, I have different reasons, but I think the main ones are first, the language is easier for me since I speak Spanish. So it's easier to speak French because the vocabulary and the grammar are very similar. So I feel like I have an advantage when I'm in the classroom because it's easier for me to understand what we are talking about or reading a book or listening to a song. So yeah, and also I feel like French is a really beautiful language. Well, for high school kids, I would say that if you already speak Spanish, it would be very smart of you to take French because that will help you to get good grades, and then those good grades would boost your GPA. So will have like better chances to get into a better college because you have a higher GPA. Like sometimes you have hard classes as math, but if you have the French that you enjoy and that you are good at because you have the Spanish background, then it's like totally take it because it will help you a lot, for the future. And it's a beautiful language, and it will open you doors in the future. So it's like you have really nothing to lose and a lot to gain, like seriously. Yeah, well, I see that for me, when we talk about like certain words, it's easier for me to understand because maybe if it's not exactly the same thing, the root is the same in the Spanish. So it comes very easily to me. And then I can even help my classmates, to understand the meaning of certain word. And yeah, so it's very, very nice. Yeah, totally. I mean, so far, last summer, I interned at the French Consulate in Los Angeles, and French helped me to get into the internship. And it was very, very helpful because I was with the French TV and television office at the consulate. So we had to watch movies in French and English, and I got to meet the actors of the films or the directors. So it was a very, very nice opportunity. And me being an international relations major and being able to intern in the consulate, it was an amazing opportunity. So in the future, for sure, I think that knowing French will open me many doors in my career. And I really hope I can study my master's in France and then have a career, maybe not in France, but in Europe or in Canada, in Montreal, that they also speak French. Wow. Well, I think like everything was very different from what I'm used to, like compared with Mexicans and with Americans. The way French people interact is very nice. I loved it actually because it feels like everyone is very friendly and everyone is like really talkative, and it's like actually you work but it's relaxed. You don't feel like the pressure or have to be like perfect in everything. So for me, like my boss, it was like it's okay to make mistakes because nobody's perfect. So it was like a relaxed kind of like working environment. It doesn't mean that you can do like whatever you want, of course, but I really, really enjoyed it. I went to Paris and I was there like only 2 days. It was very, very short, but it was during a Bastille Day. So it was like a big party, and I loved it. I loved it. I would love to do both things, like study abroad while I am a student at USC. I would love to do the Paris program, like USC Paris, and also doing my master's in France. I would like something maybe economics or finance, since that's like my specialization of my major. So yeah, I would love to. I think like enriching my like point of view, like world perspective, because since I moved to the United States, I saw like how myself like evolved mm, my personality, like how I became like more mature and like more open minded, because in Mexico is like really square sometimes the perspective you have of the world. Once I came here, it like opened like widely. So I think like going to Europe, it's going to be like even more, because like France is known to be like really multicultural and like many things like fashion, movies, and like food, everything's there. So I think it will really enrich my life, and like as a person, I think I will grow, and also in my like in my career, it will help me a lot. Hmm. Wow. Well, I would like to know like the culture, but like being there, like in the culture and get involved with everything. Because at the consulate with my friends, I had like like a little bit of that, but we weren't in France, so it was different. But by talking to them and like seeing how they interact between each other, it was very interesting how they took care of one another. It was like they were a family, even if they didn't meet before. They were really close to each other, so I really like that. So I would like to see how that is in France, if it's the same or if it changes, or if it was just because they were here, they were acting that way, but once they were in France, it was like totally different. And also the food, like how food is different, because I remember that one of my friends was talking about like how in the United States he felt that people only eat because they want to eat, but not because they really want to enjoy the food, like really taking care of what they eat. So he said that that was a big difference from the French culture, because they really took care of the food, that it has to be tasty and not just eating to feel full, per se. I would like a master's in economics or finance, really depending on how I'm doing with my USC classes, and to see which ones I like better, because right now I'm taking economics and finance, and both are really nice classes and I'm learning a lot from both. But once I'm done with USC, I can really make a decision and say like, oh, I want to go like this way or that way. But definitely it would be something about like the business world, because I would like to be involved, like in the future, working for a big company that has branches all over the world, like not just in Europe, but in the United States, like America, maybe Latin America, since I speak Spanish. So that would be very nice, like being able to speak Spanish, French, and English. I think that would be very helpful for my career. I think education is very important in your life. If you are an educated person, you have like, even in your, not even your career, but just your life, it is like more interesting, because education gives you the opportunity to even have simple conversations with people, to have something to talk about. So I think if your country or your government is not giving you that option, like to go to school almost for free, and if other countries such as France, that they have like really good universities, if they give you that chance, it's like totally worth it to take it. So I think for Mexican students, it's a very good opportunity and idea to go and do their education in France, maybe from the beginning of university, because that allows them to have a good education in a very beautiful country and for cheap. Like, so it's as good as it gets.